So when you look at Homer Bailey today, guys, you think that he's a starting pitcher who's not that good. And you're not wrong. He's got an ERA over 5 this year. But did you know, back when he was young and he had a long way to go in his career, he was actually a pretty good pitcher. So today, guys, I'm going to be talking about Homer Bailey and what's happened to his MLB career. Before I start, though, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell and leave a like on this video. But without further ado, let's get into it. So, Homer Bailey wasn't actually that good at the beginning of his career. From 2007 to 2011, he wasn't that good. In 2007, his first year in the major leagues, he was 21 years old and he went 4-2 with a 5.76 ERA and had 28 strikeouts. Not good. In 2008, he went 0-6 with a 7.93 ERA and had 18 strikeouts. Even worse. Then after in 2009, he had a big improvement. He went 8-5 with a 4.53 ERA and had 86 strikeouts. 2010 was a good year for him. He went 4-3 with a 4.46 ERA, had 100 strikeouts, but that was the year where he started having shoulder problems. He missed a quarter of the season due to a right shoulder inflammation. He had that injury in May and didn't come back until August. So 2010 was really the year where Homer Bailey had shoulder problems. Because the next year, he was back on the disabled list for a good amount of time. He did have more starts than he did in 2010, but he still had more injuries. He had a couple of injuries. One of them was a right shoulder impingement, and he was out for a good amount of time. And then after a few weeks later, after he was back from the injury, he sprained something in his shoulder. So that wasn't a good year for him health-wise, but stats-wise, it was actually pretty good. He went 9-7 with a 4.43 ERA and had 106 strikeouts. So that was a good year for Homer Bailey, just had shoulder problems. And what was so bad about these shoulder injuries was that all those injuries he had was on the same shoulder, his right shoulder. All of them were on the same shoulder. So already when you have injuries is not good, but when you have them at a certain spot is even worse. So that was really not good for Homer Bailey. But 2012 was really the year where people started saying, hey, maybe this Homer Bailey guy isn't so bad after all. Because in 2012, he went 13-10 with a 3.68 ERA and had 168 strikeouts. First off, he did not get injured that year. Second off, he had a low ERA and he had more strikeouts than he did in his previous years. But he gave up 206 hits that year, so that was a pretty big issue. But he had a lower ERA, so that was what was the good part. And 2013 was really where people started thinking maybe this Homer Bailey guy is actually something big, because he had a better year than 2012. In 2013, he went 11-12 with a 3.49 ERA and had 199 strikeouts. So first of all, actually in 2012 he had a no-hitter that year, and then in 2013 he had another no-hitter. Second of all, those 2 years, 2012 and 2013, were the best years of his career because he had a lower ERA than every other year. The most strikeouts he had were in 2012 and 2013. But anyways, in 2013, he did not get injured that year again. So once again, he was healthy. But 2014 was really where stuff started going downhill for the big guy. In 2014, he went 9-5 with a 3.71 ERA and had 124 strikeouts. You're probably thinking, hey, sports, that was a good year. That was a good year stats-wise. Health-wise, it wasn't too good. Because that year, he had a strained flexor mass in his right elbow, and he was on the 60-day DL. So he had that injury on August 16th, and he didn't come back until next season. And by next season, I really mean next season, because this injury didn't heal until April 18th. So he was out for a good amount of time, and in 2015, 0-1 with a 5.56 ERA and had 3 strikeouts. He had Tommy John. So it really wasn't looking good for Bailey. Now, people say that you do better after you have Tommy John. Well, for Bailey, it was the other way around. Tommy John actually made this guy worse. He had Tommy John again in 2016, where he went 2-3 with a 6.65 ERA and had 27 strikeouts. So for the second straight year, he had to have Tommy John. And of course, he wasn't back until next season. And the next year, once again, he wasn't good. he went 6-9 with a 6.43 ERA and had 67 strikeouts. He was not injured that year though, but then after in 2018 was really where we can officially say this guy will no longer be the same. He went 1-15 that year with a 6.09 ERA and had 75 strikeouts. He had a right knee inflammation that year as well. But 1 win in 20 starts, that is embarrassing. And it's not like he had a lot of no decisions. He had 15 losses that year. 15 losses. So that was not at all a good year. And this year, 10-8, 5.22 ERA, 108 strikeouts. So, at the end of the day, the reason why Homer Billy's not been good is because he's had a lot of injuries. And these injuries, of course, it affected him. So, Homer Billy could have been a really good pitcher, but these injuries got in his way. That is going to be it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you all next time. I'm out.